So let's see if I can get a cell phone up on the screen here. So this is the information to come in, and what I'd like to do is actually point out a couple things on this screen so that way you can work with your customers to make sure they know what's going to happen next. So anytime we have any communications go to customer, they're always going to have a managed subscription links. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on this lower link on my device and open it up so you can see how it works. And we want to coach the customer to let them know that this is available on their device on all messages, and that they can configure what type of messages come in what way for them. So again, they can turn these sliders on and off and then press submit and configure these however they want. The next thing I want you to do is to judge your own quality of the inspection you just created. Is click on the link in the inspection for the inspection results and go through and take a look at the quality of your workmanship. So as we scroll down through here, we can see all the information on there. We can see the pictures and so on. We can tap them with our finger, let them enlarge, and we can look at it and see, is the arrow pointing to the right places, and can the customer educate everything they need to know about this from the picture itself. So I'm going to switch back over to get this off my screen, and let's move a little farther. So what we do know is that we can judge by the number above, and this is gold for the service advisor, how long the customer's been looking at the inspection results. Let that number climb up, and whenever the customer stops researching, you'll be able to tell. And again, let them call you. If 20 minutes elapses before they call you, then you're going to get this nice little phone icon here. And what you want to do is just when you're ready to call the customer, click on it, and you're going to open and get the customer's phone number. If you call the customer and you get an answering machine, you don't talk to the live human, I would say press the cancel button. If you call on the other hand and you do talk to the live human, then press OK. And you can see that now you got a nice green check mark here. So when we start getting to later workflow steps, we really shouldn't have any orange phones on here after the waiting for approval step. After everything is marked in your management system approved by the customer, anything that's not approved needs to get moved over to future recommendation or moved over into a position where it's deferred. At that point, you can click on the wrench icon again, and we're going to move it to the next workflow step. And that is going to be waiting for work finished, and then click OK. You're going to have another pop-up come up to give you one last opportunity to make sure everything that's on the repair order with a pink check mark is actually approved. If they are, press apply. If not, remove whatever check mark might not be approved. The technician is going to finish his jobs on the repair order, and then when he's finished, what he's going to do is press the submit button. He's going to tab it for work complete, press OK. Enter the mileage if required, and submit it. When it comes in, the service writer is going to have this other nice message that pops up. They can look and verify that all the jobs are marked complete, and then they can move it over to ready for pickup after they've done all the things they need to do to document in the management system. At this point, the customer is going to get a message from us. You're also going to get this nice pop-up that's going to let you go ahead and configure the next reminder before the customer ever picks up your vehicle. So the way to look at this is if everything is on this list with a check mark, should be something that needs to go out in the next reminder. And for one last quality control, press the little bell icon and actually look at that reminder and make sure the profile picture's there and make sure that everything is on here makes sense. This is one last way to do some good quality control. I'm going to close that tab. I'm going to press close on this box. I'm going to close this out. And now you can see that it's gone off of the technician view because there's nothing else the technician has to do. But when we click on the workflow view, you can see it exists over here where it's ready for the customer to pick up. So that's the workflow as it goes from end to end. We want to make sure when you get back to your shop and start working with them that you actually follow the example in a similar fashion. Go through the estimate to approval step, see how it looks, get the pop-up verification before you send the inspection, look at it on your device, see what it looks like, and keep moving on. You'll get the text of your inspection, and again, look it over and do a little quality control assessment in the eyes of the consumer, not the eyes of people that know how to diagnose and repair vehicles. What we want to do is make sure that we get our whole entire staff to work together as a team. There's no point in having a us against them mentality in the shop. There is a lot of technicians and a lot of shops out there that technicians don't get paid to do inspections, but they do get paid when they get to do the work that's approved. What we want to do is begin to work as a team to actually get more approvals. The technicians have to rely on the service writer to get authorizations, but if we work together as a team to put the customer in a position of authorization through education, we control all the content and the timing of the education, then we've got a slam dunk deal. There's no reason for the technician to over recommend and hope that the service writer actually puts it on a estimate. So the policy in the shop should be is anything the technician recommends that's supported with proper documentation makes it to the repair order, and the service writer presents it to the customer and lets them say no. All the time that we spend doing that today is not going to be wasted if it's not approved, because we're going to repurpose that information on the next reminder that goes to the customer. So the service supervisors are actually the ones communicating with the customer, but the technician can actually help the process by doing a great inspection, helping them with their digital red finger with the arrow, putting some notes on it so the service writer can explain everything to the customer in terms that the customer would understand. Recreate that experience just like they're in the shop in the bay. It's your job to let the technicians actually witness how this works, either by sending a completed inspection to their own device so they can see, or perhaps at times when they're at the counter and a customer is there and you're working with them, you might let them hang out for a minute or two to see what the customer thinks about the process. So here's the exercise to do for your own this week. You technicians really need to see the power of how this works together. Want to make sure that everybody knows how the service writer and the technicians can communicate together, and they're going to use that using the tools on the tablet. So they can enter a note, press that smart chat bubble, and the service writer gets a message. They know exactly where the change needs to be made. And in this example, the service writer could actually send the technician a note back saying, yep, the drain plug is approved. It's on shelf 12, bin number 6, and please carry on.